What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well this Wednesday morning. Alright, looks like we are all set. Yeah, how you guys doing this Wednesday morning? We have a second try of the Starlink, technically fourth launch of the Starlink satellites. And this is actually going to be their third batch of operational satellites, because they're not including the first launch, as that was just the development round of the satellites. Yeah, as you guys can see if you are following me on Twitter, it's at SpaceNoob, no A. We're looking pretty good for this launch today, much better than we were looking on Wednesday. We have weather at 80% favorable. And as you guys know, SpaceX goes live 15 minutes before, so we got like a little under 40 minutes to just chat, get a pretty good understanding of what this mission is going to be. And yeah, then we'll get going on their web stream, and hopefully we lift off today. It was pretty disappointing if any of you guys were in the Monday stream. I got everything running. They tweeted that they're 60 minutes prior to liftoff, and unfortunately we had a scrub. So hopefully today we do get a successful launch. Alright, let's take a look at the mission profile. %, go. There's still I think that says in the recovery or upper level winds, but what did we scrub the other day because of weather in the recovery area? Yeah, we scrubbed Tuesday because weather in the recovery area, and then Monday was due to upper level winds. So hopefully weather in the recovery area is good today, and we're just watching for those upper level winds. But yeah, the static fire for this Falcon 9 was completed on January 20th. This booster, I think, has flown flights of this cohort too. So it was on DM1 and then the radar sat mission. So this will be its third mission. And then, yeah, they are attempting to catch both of the fairings. So that'll be pretty interesting to see if they do that. Usually we don't get live footage of that. We just kind of hear whether or not they caught him or not. But yeah, fingers crossed for that. So we got a couple things going on in the recovery area. So we have the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship there, and then we have what are they actually called? Go Quest, and then they have weird names. It's like Go Quest, and I think it's Miss Tree, Go Miss Tree or something. They're the ships that are going to be used to catch the fairings. So yeah, we have 3 ships in the recovery area, and then hopefully we have a 100% successful mission. I know they're having a bit of trouble with those fairings, but hopefully, since weather is expected to improve, we'll be all good in that. Yeah, as we saw with the other Starlinks, I think this might be just a tiny higher orbit. I'm not sure if we're, let's look. This is 8 months ago. Just has the destination orbit, so obviously that is a little higher. I think we're going to 550 now. Or interesting. So we must be really low. Destination orbit 440 kilometers, and now we're only going to 290. That's interesting. I wonder if they meant operational orbit, or I mean, either or. One of them has definitely changed. I think the destination orbit is the one, because they have those licenses from the FCC at certain altitudes. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, as you guys maybe saw on my tweet, we're going to be taking off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, right next door to the Kennedy Space Center. You can literally see them from each other, but usually it would just be like LC 39A, but whenever you see the SLC, it's a Space Launch Complex, so it's at the Air Force Station. Anything else interesting? Some stats on this mission. It's the 88th SpaceX launch, the 80th Falcon 9 launch, the 24th Falcon 9 Block 5 launch, and it is the 3rd flight of this booster. 3rd launch of this year. And this month and the decade. That's pretty cool. We're off to a good start. Not too shabby. If we could keep this up, we won't be looking that bad. 36 launches this year. I'll take that. The only thing that has me concerned is this mission, I think, was originally scheduled for last Monday. And here we are at Wednesday, and we're still not even 100% go for launch. I know weather's something that can't really do much about, but I just wonder if Starship, for example, will have greater load capacity on the vehicle, and we'll be able to have maybe slightly more margin to deal with in terms of weather. But yeah, like I said, what really are you going to do? It's weather. Can't do too much. I mean, you're at its mercy. But yeah, the primary mission obviously is the deployment of the 60 Starlinks into the correct orbit. They don't seem to have any issue with that, as it basically is just a clip, and then the Starlinks go on their way and then use their ion thrusters to spread out and get to their desired orbit. So basically, as long as the MVAC engine ignites and gets it to the good orbit, we're pretty set on this mission. And then obviously the secondary mission is landing the booster so that we can hopefully use this booster sometime again this year. And obviously, like I said before, it's on the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship, positioned 628 kilometers downrange, or 390 miles for those imperialists such as me. And then, yeah, the second mission will also be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing whether they can catch both of the fairings. So far, they've only caught 2, I think. Maybe they've only caught 1. Yeah, 2. Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. I think those were separate missions, though, right? Yeah. Go Miss Tree and Go Miss Chief. Such interesting names, Elon. Yeah, I guess we could take a look at the press kit. So approximately 45 minutes after liftoff is when we should, call it 50 minutes, is when we should hear whether they caught their fairings or not. I think we still will be having the SpaceX stream by then, because the deployment of the Starlink isn't for like 60 minutes in, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, hopefully we will hear on the stream whether they caught it. Each satellite weighs 260 kilograms. And then for those of you on the Imperial, oh man, that's pretty heavy. And there's 60 of them, so it's definitely pushing the Falcon 9 to its upper limits. That's what also I think is pretty cool about these satellites, is that they're only scheduled to be in orbit for 5 years max. And since they have those ion thrusters, at the end of their life cycle, they just deorbit themselves and burn up in the atmosphere. I'm pretty sure 98 to 99% of the actual satellite burns up, and there's like certain parts that I think Elon tweeted about that might not burn up and make it into the Earth, but I'm sure they can deorbit it in a way that they can predict it landing in the ocean or whatnot for that last 1%. And even still, that 1%, I can't imagine what it looks like. That's why I always like, while they are launching over 40,000 eventually to low Earth orbit, unless like one loses control of its ion thruster or like completely loses signal, it'll always be able to deorbit itself and not become space junk. The only, I guess, issue is like a collision or whatnot, but hopefully other companies, NASA, and can protect against that. Mission timeline, again, nothing that we haven't really seen before. So T-minus 38 minutes. We should be actually in propellant load. Almost. Or we should be go for propellant load almost pretty soon. So that'll be pretty cool. Hopefully that actually, like I said, again, happens. Just keeping an eye on SpaceX Twitter. Looking good. All right. So that'll be coming up very soon in the next like 4 minutes. And then 35 minutes at 7:25, 8:25 Eastern, we will be loading the RP-1 rocket grade kerosene into Falcon 9. Excuse me. As well as the liquid oxygen into the first stage. And then at about 7:44, 8:44 Eastern, 1 minute before the live stream actually comes up, we will be loading liquid oxygen onto the second stage. And then this all should be actually in the stream, so hopefully we'll be able to see the Falcon 9 engine chill. And then we get to go for launch at 1 minute, 45 seconds ignition. It's going to be hopefully a good, beautiful launch. Hopefully the weather in Florida is nice and clear, so we get a nice clear launch, unlike what happened with the IFA. Yeah, like I was saying, the satellites deploy like an hour into launch, into mission time. So yeah, we should around like 40, 47, 48 minutes hear whether they caught those bearings. All right. They do have a website? Oh, wow. But they don't have a Twitter. I was trying to add them, but they don't have a Twitter for it yet. Thank you, Everyday Astronaut. That is a very important metric. Weather is looking better today for the launch at 9:06 a.m. Man, wish I was there. Look at that bird. I mean, this would be really cool, but just because Google's invested in SpaceX doesn't mean that they get access to all their proprietary technology. Man, this guy's salty. I don't know about that one, sir. I mean, I would like to hear. I don't think we have any updates as to what that dark coding actually did. And that's not the happiest thing to hear, that there won't be any going up this launch with the coating on it. There's that bird, man. That's actually like dope as shit. What if it was a falcon? Alright guys, we should hopefully have a go for propellant load. And hopefully in the next minute we will actually be loading the RP1 and liquid oxygen in the first stage. Man, that would be so cool to live in like the surrounding area. You get to see a launch in your backyard, like hopefully 3-4 times a month. God, that would be sweet. Boy, that's a dirty boy. I love it though. That's one of my goals for this year. Gotta see a launch in person. Where'd this come from? Thick cloud layer. Oh man. What does RH mean? Relative humidity. I should have known that. Looks like a nice day though. Yeah, how are we looking, guys? Let's see if the SpaceX stream should be loading propellant. Also, it's kind of weird. It shows that the stream isn't going to come up until 8:10, which is the expected liftoff time, I thought. Unless that's just the opening of the window, and we're not going to take off at that time. This morning's launch. Interesting. Must just be a glitch or something. Yeah. Yeah. Just a little slip up. Yeah. That's why we're landing them 390 miles downrange. Rats. Just because it's so heavy, and like I said earlier, we're pushing the Falcon 9 to its upper limits. I think it was so cool how we were able to land the center core, or not the center core, the side boosters on the Falcon Heavy mission at the launch site. And that obviously because the boosters didn't go up nearly as far with the center core as they do. I mean, the center core is basically just the Falcon 9, just a little stronger. But the center core goes up very high, as does the normal Falcon 9 in a normal mission. But the side boosters on the Falcon Heavy have a little bit of an easier mission on Falcon Heavy, which is why they're, again, the whole point of this being able to return to the launch site rather than a drone ship. This definitely seems like something that is worth the watch. Pretty
Hello,
recent.
it's Scott Manley here, and today I thought I would use Universe Sandbox to actually talk about different classes of
This will be something that I'm going to watch after the launch. I'm going to post it in the chat if any of you guys want to check it out. Because orbit is just something that I'm going to need to spend a lot of time on. It's something that is very, very... I mean, look at this one comment. The Earth bulges at the middle because of its spin. That's something that I did not know. This is going to take a... I mean, look at my Twitter bio. It's learning one of the hardest subjects ever. And as my name implies, I am just a noob, a pleb. An everyday person just trying to learn more about this fascinating and awesome subject that is space. It's a big day for Elon. We have this mission, the Starlink mission, obviously, and then we have the Tesla earnings call, which I know this isn't really about space or whatnot, but I am quite excited. As you guys may or may not know, Tesla has been up 100% over the past 3 months. So I'm very, very interested to see how these earnings come out. I think Wall Street is predicting like 50 to 70 cents or something per share profit. So if they don't turn a profit, that 566, I'm pretty sure is going to go down to like 300. What would that be? That would be like a 30% loss. No, a little more. That would be like a 40% loss then. Even higher. So maybe not that. I mean, I don't know. I think that's actually pretty reasonable, but in terms of like market cap and hype. But yeah, let's get back to space. So yeah, just 9 more minutes until SpaceX goes live with their stream. Where are we in the countdown? So hopefully, those tanks are about halfway filled, maybe. Um, and yeah, we should soon be able to get the SpaceX live stream, get a much better in-depth analysis and overview of the mission from them. I mean, hopefully, I did a decent job. It's my first time, so please cut me some slack. But yeah, man, I should really explore their site. I have not seen this before. I haven't seen a Vandenberg launch in a long time. This is going to be an awesome launch site. This site's Southern M. Steffes, you back. Good to see ya. Welcome to it. Just 6 more minutes until the SpaceX stream. Only 30 more minutes until liftoff. Man, I've actually never looked at their site. I wonder what they do from Houston. Yeah, I really should have checked these out sometime sooner. Man, those things look so cool, though. It's gonna be awesome. The day that it goes live for northern US and Canada is gonna be such an awesome day. I really do want to test it. Hopefully I'll be able to test it somehow. In the unlikely event that the propulsion system becomes inoperable, the satellites will burn up in Earth's atmosphere within 1 to 5 years. Interesting. Man, those look so sick. Each one is so heavy. Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, as we were continuing where we were left off with the ion propulsion systems, the thing that makes this pretty cool is that they're powered by this krypton, which krypton is a chemical element with the symbol Kr and atomic number 36. So it's been pretty well used on Earth before, but definitely not for propulsion. basically, in the beginning, it seems like it was used as a life form. And, man, 27 tons? Alright, guys, should be seeing it fairly soon. Just a moment. We're back. From Launch Library. What's r/SpaceX API? Bruh, I am not. I gotta get with it. Oh, here we go. We could be able to tell that destination orbit. Yeah, so okay, they are playing around with it a bit. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. This was just earlier this month. Wow. I also just noticed this. So much good stuff here. Just just so much. If you guys want to learn more about this, basically anything to, oh boy, guys, we got music. We got music. But yeah, like I was saying, if you guys want to learn anything about SpaceX, the subreddit, the wiki on the SpaceX subreddit is just pure gold. Let me turn that down a bit. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But yeah, guys, first live streamed launch. Like I said, tried on Monday, got scrubbed. I'm excited. Hopefully everything is looking good right now. It appears. Usually I mean, I shouldn't say usually, they've done it before, but once the live stream starts, it's almost pretty certain that it's going to launch. Oh, it's so sick. I think that's all venting. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, that is so sick. She is. I'm really looking forward to your coverage of DM2. Oh, it looks like a beautiful day. And yeah, guys, if you guys could not catch the stream, I am going to be uploading it to YouTube and the SpaceNoob channel. I think I am going to eventually migrate to YouTube streaming, but for reasons that I don't want to bore you with, that is not a possibility at this current moment. Let's take a look at these Starship photos that Elon posted last night. Oh boy, here we go, guys. We have the intro. Alright, I'm gonna put this up for you guys to enjoy. Hopefully I'm in a good position. Looks like I might be. Let me know if you guys want me to turn anything off and I will. Let's go, guys. Fourth mission of Starlink satellites.
It is 8:55 a.m. Eastern on January 29th, and you are looking at a live view of the Falcon 9 as it awaits its targeted 9:07 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. Good morning from SpaceX headquarters here in Hawthorne, California. My name is Lauren Lyons, and I'm an engineer on our Starlink team here at SpaceX, and welcome to our live webcast of our fourth Starlink mission. To date, we have launched three sets of 60 Starlink satellites. One set back in May of 2019, another in November, and the most recent just a few weeks ago on January 6th. This network of relatively small but advanced satellites is designed to bring high-speed, low-latency broadband internet to people all over the globe. By design, these satellites will be able to service areas of the globe where connectivity has been unreliable, too expensive, or completely unavailable. For those of you who follow SpaceX closely, you know we successfully completed an in-flight demonstration of our Crew Dragon launch escape system about a week and a half ago on January 19th. This test was the last major milestone before we fly NASA astronauts to the space station for the first time on our Crew Dragon spacecraft later this year. This is the mission known as Demo 2. The rocket you see on your screen right there also played a role in these efforts. Specifically, this booster previously launched the first Crew Dragon spacecraft, minus the astronauts of course, and launched it to the International Space Station for NASA back in March of last year. This was a mission known as Demo 1. Now today we're going to attempt to recover this Falcon 9 first stage for the third time, this time on the drone ship Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed about 350 nautical miles off the eastern coast of Florida. We'll also be attempting to recover both fairing payload fairing halves today during using our two fairing recovery vessels, Miss Tree and Miss Chief. Woo. So we likely won't see those views live, but we'll provide updates on progress on that recovery as they become available. So we're continuing to count down to liftoff, but if for some reason we have to call a hold on today's launch, we do have a backup opportunity on Thursday, January 30th at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. But at this time, all systems are go for an on-time liftoff.
My name is Jessie Anderson, and I'm a lead manufacturing engineer here at SpaceX. Right now, we are looking at a live view of Falcon 9 on our pad Space Launch Complex 40, or SLIC 40, in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Falcon 9 stands 70 meters tall, and when it's fully fueled, it'll hold just over 1 million pounds of propellant that the vehicle will burn through in less than 3 minutes after liftoff. We prepped Falcon 9 for launch in our hangar at the base of the pad, and upon completing final checkouts, Falcon 9 rolled out to the pad with the Starlink payload and went vertical early this morning. The chief engineer held a technical poll at T-1 hour to confirm no significant issues, and launch director held a propellant load and launch go-no-go poll at T-38 minutes to ensure all teams were good to begin the fueling process. Falcon 9 has been loading propellant since T-35 minutes, and currently our rocket-grade kerosene, or RP1, is nearly fully loaded on the first stage, which is the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle that you see there on your screen. That first stage, which previously flew during SpaceX's Demo 1 mission for NASA, as well as the RadarSat Constellation mission in June of 2019, is responsible for accelerating the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to the edge of space with the help of 9 Merlin engines. Above that first stage is the second stage, which has a single Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, which ignites after the first stage separates. The second stage is what will carry the Starlink satellites to an altitude of 290 kilometers above the Earth's surface. At this time, second stage is fully fueled, and liquid oxygen loading is currently underway on both first and second stage. The stack of 60 satellites is safely enclosed inside of the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is the pointed enclosure on the very top of the rocket. And we've got a nice view of the satellites stacked up right there. These are flat satellites, so you can see that there on your screen. And once we reach the vacuum of space, we will deploy the fairing as the second stage continues on its journey to its final orbit. So far, weather is looking good during our launch window for an on-time launch, but we'll be keeping an eye on this all the way down to T-0. The Air Force range is prepared to support today's mission. Waters are clear of any ships, and the range continues to ensure the safety of our launch. The vehicle, satellites, weather, and range are all looking good for an on-time liftoff just a few minutes from now.
Today, most of your satellite internet services come from geostationary satellites, or GeoSats. A single GeoSat will serve a fixed but broad area and is typically placed about 35,000 kilometers or higher above the Earth. Now, one of the main drawbacks of that high altitude is high latency, or delay, in that signal that's provided because they're so far above the Earth. Starlink, on the other hand, is a constellation of multiple satellites that orbit the planet, but at much lower, at about 550 kilometers. Because of this low orbit, latency is much lower than with satellites in geostationary orbit. This enables Starlink to deliver services like seamless video calls that are usually not possible on other satellite internet systems. And because Starlink satellites fly in a global constellation, we can bring high-speed internet to places that previously had terrible service or no service at all. Some of the most exciting opportunities for Starlink are rural or remote locations where traditional fiber or cable just isn't practical. And Starlink can also deliver high-speed internet to locations where fiber and cable aren't possible at all, such as a cruise ship or an airplane. Building a constellation that can provide this level of service is incredibly challenging, but we are making steady progress towards that goal with every Starlink launch. And one quick note, during our last launch we mentioned that we were experimenting with a darkening treatment on one of our satellites. This is part of an effort to minimize reflections from the satellites that may be distracting to some astronomers during their observations of the night sky. It takes a few weeks for those satellites to reach their final orbit destination, so we don't have the results of that DarkSat experiment just yet, but we'll be sure to share what we've learned as the data becomes available.
We are currently a little bit over 4 minutes from liftoff, and Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown.
Guys.
At T-minus 7 minutes, engine chill began. This is where we allow a small amount of the super chilled liquid oxygen pumps prior to the full flow of liquid oxygen into the vehicle, and that's to avoid any shocks to the system. Liquid oxygen is also what's creating the white puffs around Falcon 9. We continue to load super chilled liquid oxygen, or LOX, into the stage until just before liftoff, and when that super chilled LOX comes in contact with the ambient air around it, it creates those white clouds surrounding the vehicle that you can see there on your screen. And just a few moments ago, around T-minus 4.5 minutes, the transporter erector retracted away from the rocket slightly, and this provides clearance for Falcon 9 to lift off. The first and second stages are both nearly fully loaded with 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. First stage should finish prop loading at T-minus 3 minutes, and second stage at T-minus 2 minutes. At T-minus 60 seconds, be sure to listen in to the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown. This booster has launched from our 39A launch pad, our Vandenberg launch pad, and it is now getting ready for liftoff from our Slick-40 launch pad today. The Starlink payload continues to be healthy. The Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. Weather is still looking good, and the range is green for launch. So let's listen in to the last few minutes of the countdown.
There we go, guys. I just love seeing those vents. Okay, so the rocket should be fully loaded. 1 minute till startup, boys.
Stage 2 LOX loads closed out.
Ground gas closeout starting.
Man, look at all that venting. Here we go, guys.
Falcon 9 in startup.
Ground gas closeout complete.
LDs go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Another
It
cloud.
is T plus 45 seconds, and we've just had a nominal liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload on its way to its targeted orbit. In just about 20 seconds coming up here, we will be passing through
there's the
Max
sonic
Q.
boom.
Minus supersonic.
That is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see, which is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees throughout ascent.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum aerodynamic pressure.
And we've just heard that call out from Max Q. Coming up next in about a minute will be 3 events back to back, starting off with MECO, or main engine cutoff, followed immediately by stage separation, and this is where the first stage separates from the second stage, and then followed by SES-1, which is second engine startup.
MVAC engine chill.
And we should be able to see all 3 of those events live on your screen. But right now we've got an awesome view looking aft on the vehicle with the Earth in the background. Now if you're just now joining us, we're about 30 seconds away from MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES-1, or second engine start 1.
Man, that exhaust plume. It's so wide. Rico?
There's that main engine
Main
cutoff.
engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
You can see the stage separation, first stage separating from second stage on your left screen, and on the
ignition.
right, second engine startup. That's that MVAC engine on our second stage. And there's that bright red glow on the engine. So now coming up in about 20 seconds is fairing deploy, and as Lauren mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to catch both payload fairing halves on our recovery vessels, Mystery and Mischief. It will be unlikely that we will see these live on the webcast, so we'll bring you updates as they become available. But you can also check into our social media for updates as well.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there's that call out for fairing separation. There's fairing deploy. You can see that on your right screen. Those fairing halves are now you can see that on your screen actually. The fairing halves are making their way back to Earth, and hopefully we can catch those on our recovery vessels.
Fingers crossed. Those grid fins doing work.
AOS Bermuda.
Not too sure what that meant.
Okay, so we have on both sides of your screen here, we got stage 1 on the left and stage 2 on the right. So a lot of really cool stuff coming up all at once or in rapid succession here in the next few minutes. On the left side, what we're going to see on the stage 1 side of things is at about T plus 6 minutes and 24 seconds, more or less, you're going to hear the call out and hopefully visually see the stage 1 entry burn. That's where we reignite 3 of those Merlin 1D engines, and that allows the first stage to slow down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's
Stage 2 is
atmosphere.
on a nominal trajectory.
All right, as you just heard, stage 2 is on a nominal trajectory. That's really cool. Meanwhile, stage 1 is coasting down, getting ready for that entry burn. That burn's going to last just under 20 seconds. After that entry burn, stage 1 will continue to coast down towards the drone ship, and at about T plus 8 minutes or so, you're going to hear the call out for the landing burn. That is where we reignite a single Merlin 1D engine, that center engine E9, and that slows the vehicle down to 0 velocity, and hopefully you'll see a cool image of it standing right up on the drone ship. Meanwhile, stage 2 continues to perform nominally, wearing that MVAC is at full power. Now, right after the stage 1 landing, about 20 seconds later, you're going to hear the call out for SECO 1, that's second engine cutoff 1. That is where we cease to burn the second stage engine and takes us into our first coast phase.
And you can see how it totally reoriented the rocket right there, the first stage.
That stage 2 engine
Getting ready
is
for that entry
burning
burn.
with more than 200,000 pounds of thrust as it takes that stack of 60 Starlink satellites to its first parking orbit.
Stage 1 entry startup.
All right, you see that entry burn as it started. We lost the image, but hopefully it'll come back. That entry burn was just under 20 seconds long. Meanwhile, stage 2, as
Stage
you can
1
see,
entry shutdown.
stage 2 continues to burn, and we just heard the call out that the entry burn on stage 1 has concluded.
Stage 2 continues on a nominal trajectory.
So we're a little bit under a minute from the landing burn start. Meanwhile, stage 2, as you just heard, continues on a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1 transonic.
Okay, in just under 15 seconds, stage 1 should start that landing burn. Hopefully
Stage
we'll
1
get
landing
that camera
startup.
back.
Oh boy.
Success. Didn't do anything.
Right, that landing burn is currently going. Unfortunately, we don't have the video
That's
from
the
the
drone
vehicle,
ship, though.
but we do have the drone
Stage
ship
1 landing
video.
light deploy.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
All right, and yes. Awesome. That's the third landing of this booster. Second time landing on, of course, I Still Love You.
Falcon 9 has landed. Operators, please proceed.
Very
to
cool.
D-class
And
11.100.
Safe.
any second now, we should be seeing SECO 1. That is where that second stage engine will cut off. Got that animation there, but let's still listen out for the call
Back
out.
shutdown.
All right, as you just heard, second engine shut down.
LOS Cape expected.
And we got confirmation that we're in a good orbit. All right, so we're now going to enter a coast phase. So we're going to
Nominal
take a quick
parking,
break.
orbit
but
insertion.
we'll be leaving you with an animation that shows where we are in the coast phase, and we'll be back at about T plus 45 minutes for a second stage relight, followed by another brief coast and then payload deploy. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you that payload deploy live on the webcast, so we'll see you back here in just over 35 minutes.
Okay guys, I too am going to take a small, probably 20-25 minute break. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will be back a little sooner than they will.
ALS Newfoundland.
Yeah, you guys just enjoy this. Feel free to also take a break, get a snack, go to the bathroom, do what you gotta do. See you guys soon.
OS Bermuda expected. LOS Newfoundland expected. AOS Goon Hilly. LOS Goonhilly expected. AFSCN.
Oh! Wow! How many did they catch? Did they catch them both? I gotta go back, guys. Just looks like that's all they were showing.
Update, as you can see on your screen, we were able to catch one of the fairing so far. This one is on Miss Tree, and we're still waiting to hear if we are able to catch the one on Miss Chief, the second fairing half. So exciting news so far this morning. We will bring you updates on Miss Tree and that second fairing half as soon as we get more information.
What do you guys think, guys? Do you think they landed it? Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome, guys. I can't believe it. Nice job, SpaceX. Sorry, guys, just one moment. Man, so that guy landed pretty quick, right? Excuse me. Approximately 45 minutes after liftoff, we'll try and catch it. So they got that one like 40 minutes in, so like 4 minutes early. That's pretty cool.
Welcome back to the webcast for Starlink. We had some exciting news that we did catch one of the fairing halves on Miss Tree. Unfortunately, we were unable to catch the second fairing half on Miss Chief. It was really, really close. Looks like it did have a soft water landing, so we will be pulling that fairing half out of the water and hopefully reusing it again in the future. So coming up next in about 30 seconds from now will be SES-2 followed by SECO-2, and that's second engine start and second engine cutoff. Now this burn will last just 1 second long. It's one of the shortest burns that we do, and that's because we are so close to our targeted orbit that a 1 second burn will get us there just fine. So that is coming up shortly in about 5 seconds or so. Again, it might not look like much because it is a 1 second burn. Hopefully we'll get that live view. And we've had confirmation of SES-2 and SECO-2. Now just waiting for confirmation of good orbit.
Man, that's quick. Just coasting out there. Where is it? Oh, that's Madagascar? I believe so. And then that's India and Sri Lanka up there. It's in the middle of the Indian Ocean right now.
And we've had confirmation of good orbit.
Excellent.
So now that second stage is in a good orbit and making its way to its final
Good
destination.
orbit insertion for satellite deploy.
And there's that call out. Now that we're in a good orbit, we'll be coasting for the next 15 minutes or so. So we'll be back at T plus 1 hour and 1 minute for payload deploy.
Awesome, guys. That was pretty awesome that they were able to catch one of them at least. We'll obviously be back before I can kind of hear it. Okay, cool. I just wanted to show you guys this. Everyday astronaut, actually at the Kennedy Space Center. I think that's where he's sitting right now. I'm not too sure, actually. Yeah, but anyways, that's not important. He was actually filming the launch on this camera that I showed you guys earlier. You guys got to check this out. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. Wow. That's so sweet.
Bar. This one is
for those
on
of you
mission-
guys who did not see, I also didn't get a chance to, I mean, I heard her talk, but just stepped away from my desk and then came back and this was on there.
Tree. And we're still waiting to hear if we are able to catch the one on Mischief, the second fairing half. So exciting update. As you can see on your screen, we were able.
That's awesome. Yeah, I stepped away from my desk for a moment, and then I look over at my monitor and I see the fairing just sitting in the net. Yeah, this is the scene that I saw. Oh, wow. That was the parachute sitting back there. Okay. I was wondering what that was in the water. Wow, they literally got us a shot right of it. That's awesome. Looks like they have like a secondary net under it. I wonder if like they lower this one and then this is what holds it when the ship returns. This net actually holds the fairing. Because it does look like it lowers quite a bit. That's sweet. Oh! Oh, man. Oh! Oh my gosh, that is close, dude. They definitely have to like lower it or whatever. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is wild. Yeah, they're definitely doing something with they're trying to like secure it. They almost lost it. This is quite interesting. Secure it. They're trying to like secure it. Sorry guys, just trying to get a clip. They're trying to like secure it. Let's see where we're looking. So just 7 minutes away from, or like 8 minutes, I guess, from the satellite deploy. But man, this was a great launch. I am very happy that I chose this one as the first one to start the stream. As you guys could tell, I am a noob. You guys are watching SpaceNoob. That's my channel name, so please don't expect Jim Bridenstine or Elon talking here. This is going to be some pretty low-level stuff. Hopefully we can get to even a quarter of those men's intelligence and knowledge on the subject, but that will be a pretty far goalpost to reach, to say the least. But yeah, guys, this is for the everyday person. I mean, I guess that's kind of what everyday astronaut does, but I'm just kidding. But this is probably even lower level than him. The people that I'm trying to aim this at, just because this is, I don't know too many people that don't find this just fascinating and interesting. We got to get more people into this and actually involved, because we don't have too many options, it's looking like. So what do we have? I'm going to assume that these satellites are going to deploy. Like I said earlier, it's just a clip. And then they all spread out to their desired orbit. Excuse me. So we're 3 for 4 on this mission. Obviously the primary mission is successful, so that's, again, assuming that the clip unclips. Primary mission was successful and the booster was recovered. Those are the two main objectives, I think. Recovering one fairing is obviously amazing. I'm pretty sure each fairing is like $5 to $6 million each, so they just saved that much money. I'm not even too sure the refurbishment process on the one that they caught. I assume it would be very, very minimal, but again, what do I know? I'm a noob. And the one that did land in the sea, I assume it's already halfway out of the water by now. So the exposure to seawater while exposed is definitely going to be minimal. Yeah, guys, SpaceX is getting really good at this launch thing, man. They're getting really good. We should see a lot more of these missions in the year, and hopefully years to come. I mean, obviously. Yeah, man, this is a time to be alive. Let's check out what we have coming next. Oopsie daisy. As you guys cannot see, I'll throw it on there. There's my schedule. Guess I could throw this one on. Makes more sense. So I'm gonna have to change it since we just now launched the Starlink-3 mission. Next up, we have Rocket Lab launching their National Reconnaissance office, I think it is, or something. It's for a United States classified mission. It's a reconnaissance satellite that they're going to be launching on their Electron rocket. That is coming up very soon. Let me take a look at the exact date for you guys, because I will be streaming that one as well, even though I know even less than I know about SpaceX, but it's still going to be, gotta learn, right? Yeah, the U.S. National Reconnaissance Office. They're going to be obviously launching from their only operational, I think their only operational launch complex, which is the one in New Zealand. I think the one in America is very close. The one in Virginia, or again, I don't know much, guys. I don't know much about Rocket Lab. But I do think that they're going to be going places, so might as well start learning now. Yeah, so the date, that's the most important. It is going to be on the 31st at, I think, 6 p.m. What is 0 UTC? Yeah, 6 p.m. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm going to be streaming that. Hopefully, they have a successful launch as well. But then next up, as you guys can see, we have a ULA launch. Oh yeah, I know how much ULA is liked among the SpaceX community. But that too, going to be an interesting launch around, what the hell am I doing? On board their Atlas V rocket. This is a mission for the European Space Agency. They're doing a solar orbiter around the sun, so gonna get some interesting data and science on the sun. And that one is on February 6th. February 5th technically for us on the central and eastern coast, so that's gonna be a late one, guys. That's gonna be a 10:27 liftoff Central Time and 11:27 Eastern time. It just doesn't that look a little... Oh, you guys can't see. Maybe. Doesn't this look a little weird? But yeah, guys, we have a pretty big next couple days coming up. I am pretty excited for the Rocket Lab launch. Also quite excited for the ULA launch. The ULA launch is actually going to be right next door to where SpaceX took off today at Space Launch Complex 41. Wonder if we could see it. Just like one more minute, I think, until they come back and the satellites deploy. And then after the satellites deploy, guys, I think that is going to be the end of the first stream. And there's that MVAC engine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't think there might have been one person that came in. Thank you to that one person. Like I said, I'm going to be posting this onto YouTube and my SpaceNoob channel. So if you guys were unable to check it out live, go check it out there. And oh, here we go. They're coming back.
Our satellites are flatly packed with no dispenser, and that the deployment sequence looks a little bit different from what you'll see on a typical launch. The satellites will slowly disperse upon deploy, and they may even bump into one another, which is to be expected. The satellites were designed with this in mind, and we are less than 1 minute away from deployment of the Starlink satellites. Okay, so after the satellites deploy, they are going to, over time, separate from one another and use their onboard krypton ion thrusters in order to space themselves out into their orbital planes and raise their altitude to their operational orbit of 550 kilometers. Our insertion orbit, if you remember, today is about 290 kilometers above the Earth. Look at that beautiful view. Okay, well, the one of space is awesome. The animation's cool too, but hopefully we'll get back to those live views from space.
Starlink tension rod separation confirmed.
Okay, we just heard the call out that separation has been confirmed. Let's see if we can get another view. That would be really cool. Here it should be coming up. There we go. Ah, that's gorgeous. That's those 60 Starlink satellites successfully separating from stage 2, and that beautiful planet there is the planet that those satellites are going to provide internet service to, which is super, super exciting. And with that, that brings our webcast to a close. We had a successful mission. We had a great stage 1 ascent, completing the hat trick, launching from 3 separate launch sites. We had the 3rd recovery of this booster. Stage 2 delivered Starlink to its operation or to its targeted orbit, and as you just saw, we successfully separated those 60 Starlink satellites. So, oh, and also we caught a fairing. That's a big deal and super awesome, and we were able to see it in the daytime, which is even more cool. So a big thank you to the 45th Space Wing for range safety and to the FAA for licensing today's successful launch.
We'd also like to thank all of you, our viewers, for tuning in this morning. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones. And until next time, have a great morning.
All right, guys. And like I said, I can't really say anything else to wrap it up. If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, I will be posting this as well as the clip of the fairing catch because that was very awesome. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Those of you that did, I will see you guys hopefully, like I said, on the 31st for that Rocket Lab launch. See you guys later.